use. So what I would prefer to do, essentially due to newness, is to be able to bring myself up to speed to do more justice to these particular proposals that are outside of the housing element. So what I would propose is that we not necessarily delay everything indefinitely, but take these one item at a time. So with respect to that threshold question that was being discussed, I would prefer to handle the housing element tonight and the housing element only. And I've been here in Cupertino for a decade now, and I've seen a full economic cycle. In the downturn of an economic cycle, almost nothing happens. And I've been witnessing in the last couple of years a lot of developments happening quickly. And I think that if we were to look at the entire breadth of everything covered by the GPA right now, it would very significantly alter Cupertino if it were going to happen so quickly. So my preference would be to handle these on a on a more incremental basis. Perhaps it's something of a selfish reason, but again, this is something that I think would be a little bit better served if we had 5 council members that were fully up to speed on all these issues. So,
thank you, Darcy, and I don't think it's selfish. It's 2 plus an entire community.
Right.
So,
preclude. Just to clarify, I'm not saying we do a repeated amendment.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying is we spread it out over a couple of meetings.
Right.
So the new council members have a little more time.
Yep.
And we send in the HCD according to whatever your time constraint is. And then we look at the other parcels.
Right, right. But if let's say you've made all the changes related to the housing element sites, and you've adopted those changes, and then you adopt, you can next year, for example, January, February, decide you want to have a couple of additional meetings, you want to understand this, you want to have a question and answer session, you want the public to have a little more input before you make the decision on the other elements of the general plan. That's possible, because you're still looking at all of these
looking at it comprehensively, just not at today's meeting.
Right. Right, and you asked us, it's an option to look at it later.
Right, I think we're all on the same page here, the 3 of us who have last spoken. I mean, it's a matter of not taking the general plan amendment and parsing it out into a lot of different amendments. It's really a matter of considering it over a little bit more time, because you do have 2 council members here who have, although they do have about, 15 hours of experience on it, I mean, directly. That all comes in the last 2 evenings.
It's pretty impressive what you've gained so far, though. Yeah.
Okay.
We're happy to help get more.
Okay.
I'm not asking 18 months, no.
okay.
No, we're not saying we're going to. Yeah.
So what I hear so far, I'm going to deliberate too, but what I hear so far is we have a consensus of Barry, Savita, and Darcy to work on the housing element tonight, and take the actions in the GPA that we must do in order to fulfill the housing element.
Correct.
Right? I'd like to hear from the 3 of you who have so far been of common mind on this. Are you okay with the idea of bringing this back, say, in 1 or 2 months? The parts of the general plan amendment that are under consideration, so we get a unified view across the city, or do you think we ought to serialize and do everything piecemeal?
No, I don't think we should do it piecemeal. But on the general plan amendment, I would say bring it back probably within a month or 2, and then give a thorough discussion, that get the audience at the time. And then I would suggest next meeting, let's cut off at 11 o'clock. Okay, after 11 p.m. doesn't make any more sense. And then don't load it up with all the ceremonial item. Okay, if we're going to talk to important issue, just that important issue, and then we cannot hear it out with delay to the next day. Let all hear it out, and then we still have problem. We give it some time, because I mean, if the last general plan amendment
took 4 years. I got it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my mouth shut.
And you also like the idea of coming back and setting some standard rules across the city in the next month or 2?
I'm fine with doing that.
All right. Savita?
I'm fine with that. January 31st was a date, so as long as the staff says that we have to do it before the 31st, something like that?
No.
No. Just the HCD.
HCD is only.
Just the HCD, okay. I'm comfortable with that.
I think, I mean, what I think I hear is you want to move forward with the housing element part of this tonight, right?
Yeah.
So we would actually pick sites tonight.
Right.
And ask, I mean, there may be nuance around this, but basically get that part of the GPA going toward that submittal by staff, which takes a lot of their effort now to put together. Okay.